Hello there, welcome to the video. This is Susanna. Thank you so much for watching and subscribing. So let's talk about resistance and how to let go of it. Now you know that we get stuck mostly because we resist life. And after all these years of practicing observation on my patterns, I can see that what actually blocked me from experiencing more of life and expressing more in the past was particularly this resistance to life. So I know what I'm talking about. And you know how it is. Every thought has a certain vibrational quality. And when we're going through this negative thinking, we are generating more and more thoughts of this kind. And this is how we create our reality. So the question is, how do we let go? Can we stop resisting by trying to stop resisting, by resisting the resistance? Now, resistance, to be clear about it, has a very bad taste. And it gives this bad, heavy, desperate feeling, which feels like anger, feels like frustration, like guilt, like despair, etc. So it is easy to know when you resist because you feel that way, you feel bad. And of course, attempting to change this feeling with another feeling which is bad, ugly, and heavy means that you are resisting the resistance. So basically, letting go of this resistance is the process of awareness, which reduces the intensity or the identification with these negative thoughts and feelings. And creates some distance from these thoughts and feelings and allows you to move into this light, beautiful, blissful, joyful, powerful, and invincible feeling. Because this is how you create your life. So this video is meant to help you precisely with that, reduce the intensity of this feeling and create this little distance between you and these thoughts. Because this is the key to change the mood that you're having now, the one that you have right now. As for why we're experiencing these negative thoughts, well, as life expresses now through this body, and we are experiencing life through these five senses, when we have these living proofs in front of us, of our parents, of other people around us, or the entire society around us, of course we are going to believe it and to mimic and to borrow that mode of thinking, influenced by the beliefs of others, because we see that right in front of our eyes. It's tangible, we can smell it, we can feel it, we can touch it. That pain, that suffering feels real to us. And it is here the illusory aspect of life, what we call samsara, the cycle of birth and death, or the game of life. This is where we get trapped in the illusion and we play along with it, and then we get to suffer. However, deep down at a certain level, as the Vedic knowledge is teaching us, we are in the possession of this deeper knowledge of who we are. We are equipped with what it takes to reach it. There, in the Chitta, which is the unconscious, subconscious, and superconscious, we have the memory of who we really are. And there are ways to awaken that. And as I was saying in one of my previous videos about the ego, if you've seen it, we probably need this struggle. We probably need this contrast in order to discover who we want to be. So how do we get to let go when we are in the middle of a very painful process and a very negative feeling? Of course, it depends on where you are. If you already have a spiritual discipline or a sadhana, if you have a guide or a guru or a teacher, somebody who can guide you, or a support group, it's easier. Now, those who are on a spiritual path, or for those who are on a spiritual path, there is a reference. No matter how harsh or painful it could get, one can still remember and remain aware that this is just a bounce, a wave, and that it passes. And if you allow yourself to ride this wave, you can only become more aware, and it's not going to crush you or drown you. Now, when you have no spiritual practice or no awareness of what is going on, this is where it hits you. Because in these moments, you really believe that you are separated. You really believe that you are alone. You really believe that you are going to disappear when you die. You really believe that there is no solution, no point, and no way out. And so the purpose of the spiritual practice is that it loosens up this intensity, and when these moments come, you still remember and remain aware. And sometimes you're able to shift this frequency. Sometimes you have the wisdom to just wait that it passes. So for those who have no spiritual practice, this is what I want to do with you. A short tapping session that no matter how intense these feelings are right now, or how much you are identifying yourself with this thinking, it will enable you to come out of it slowly and change frequency. Because it is from this frequency of joy, of power, of invincibility, of immortality that you can get to create your life. Now the tricky part is that this negative state that you're experiencing now help you create your life as well, because you get to understand more and more what you don't want, what is not real, what is not true. Because when you have a bad mood and obviously start pondering these bad thoughts, untruthful thoughts, there are two ways to be aware. You can be aware right away, understanding the process that is going on, that you're feeding on some thoughts that have no truth in them, and then shift that, change that right away. That's the most desirable way. Or if you're not aware of what's going on inside you, and these thoughts are eventually start to materialize into a reality in a way or another, then you suffer, and then you become aware of the power of your negative thoughts. Either way, there is a process of awareness and growth and choice that's going on. It is just that one happens faster with less resistance, and the other one is more painful. Ultimately, they both lead to the same place, which is the realization of the truth of the choices that are making you happy and alive. You see, you are the embodiment of this consciousness. But at the same time, you are an extension of other thoughts and experiences that happened before you. You are a permanent interaction between these two. So these negative states are not necessarily bringing you away from something which you already are. They're just waves at the surface of the ocean. While the true nature, your true nature, is in the depth of it, where things are intact and stable. Your mind and your five senses give rise to these fluctuations, but you are there in the deep. So you don't have to judge yourself too harshly for having these moments of negativity neither, because this is part of the process. What you can do is to reduce the pain and stop doing something which could be harmful to yourself or to others. Because in the end, all the unpleasant situations, as well as all the pleasant situations that you have experienced, are in equal measure part of this process of birth and creation of you. It is the construction, the tuning in and the development of clarity and wisdom and discernment and choice that is happening right there, right now. And if you have the wisdom, you can just ride the wave and be curious to where it leads and what can emerge from that process. This is letting go. This is tuning in. This is allowing life to happen through you and to follow its course. I'm always amazed by how unique every single enlightened being is. Now, when we look at people that inspire us, and I'm pretty sure that you have a few of them as well, we can see that clearly. I followed many brilliant minds and beings who have reached a certain level of wisdom and enlightenment. And when you learn more about them, you see how different they all are and how differently they express the same truth. It's such a wonderful experience. To mention just a few: Alan Watts, Carl Jung, Ramana Maharshi, Krishnamurti, Eckhart Tolle, and others. It's amazing how each of them has their own way of presenting the truth through their own identity. Now, the most awesome part of creation is that each individual is a unique expression of the truth. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is the dialogue between Lord Krishna and Arjuna, Arjuna being a warrior ready to go on a battle, he's on a battlefield and is pondering on the actions that he's about to do, and he feels lots of stress and pain as he's supposed to kill members of his own family in this battle. Now, the answer of Lord Krishna to his questions is actually the content of this wisdom and of this teaching. And it's there that Krishna is saying that every person is a path that leads to me, that is, to the truth. Every person is a singular and unique path that leads to the truth. And this is beautiful, and you are one of them. This precise negative moment that you're experiencing now is bringing you there as well. So each of them, each of these enlightened and brilliant beings are presenting the truth in a certain way, in a unique way. And when you read their stories, prior to this moment of enlightenment, and when they reached this aspect of the truth, they've been tormented, they suffered, they went through intense inner struggle, probably just like you do now. What matters is that in you now, there is this life process going, you brewing, fermenting, this alchemical process through which your identity gets in touch with the truth and allows the truth to embody in this particular shape and form. So it is this inner struggle, this contrast, that enables you to get clarity and get more and more in tune with what you want and who you really are. Now, to make this process simpler and less painful, we can change the frequency. So stay tuned for the tapping session, which will be in the next video. And if you want to go even further, don't hesitate to contact me via my website, susannapanasian.com. I have just updated my website, and there is a 40% discount for the first session with me. Check it out. Maybe you want to book a session right now. I'll see you soon. Stay tuned. Thank you so much for choosing to watch my videos, for subscribing, liking, and sharing my videos. And I'll see you very soon.